Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're going to look at a variety of one-touches. We have Ultra Pro, Fanatics, Pro Mold, and our GTi MAGS as well. Get the clear, the black, and the white. And that's what's housing the Yao Ming, who is going to be our card of choice for experimentation today. It is a 55-point card. And you can see it's encased here in our GTi MAG with a black border. And our black border goes front and back. And when you open this, you can see how that fits in there with the inner sleeve. Okay, so that's a 55-point card. You can see the dimensions of the inner sleeve there. And when you put it into the mag, you're gonna have no movement, and even better, you're not gonna have wrinkles with the inner sleeve. Okay, let's look at some of our other options. We're gonna start with our actual competitor and somebody who makes mags quite well, actually. It's just a different product, that's all. But this mag is also another option for people who want an inner sleeve. The Fanatics and the Ultra Pro, they're following the exact same mold, just a little bit different with the branding and stuff like that. So you're not gonna see too much difference between these two, BCW and some other brands as well. And we'll look at those a little bit later, and we'll look at ours a little bit later. And let's dig into the Ultra Pro 55-point mag with inner sleeve. Okay, so this is their packaging, and then we'll open one of ours and just kind of look at some of the differences. Okay, there we go. Let's move that. Okay, so you get this, and please support American-made products and their sizes. Okay. And one thing I am noticing is there is some scrape right there, which is unfortunate if I were to buy this. And I'll get into that a little bit later. Ours, that's just the opening of this, right? And this doesn't seem to have an inner sleeve in it. It's a little bit longer, more. I still see some issues with this right inner sleeve. For this product, it could be a little issue. And I know Promo, you know, see their magnet is really good. Their clarity is very good. Everything's all good. A little bit of some weirdness on the front as far as like, I want to say like almost like a film. I'm not sure if that's their UV, how they're spraying the UV on there. But you can see there are a lot of issues with this with the plastic not being scratch-free when you buy it. Especially that one going across it. So this particular Pro Mold I'm not so excited about, and that's just because it doesn't come with the sleeve. There are some Pro Molds that do come with the sleeve, and maybe you can buy the sleeve separately. But anyways, that's that product. Let's open ours, and I'm just gonna show you some of the differences. When you open this product, you're gonna have a plastic film. I recommend all the mag companies implement this in their manufacturing. What it's gonna do is it's gonna make sure that when you do get it, there's not gonna be a bunch of scratches. There's no scratch across the front because that's being protected. And then the inner sleeves, we actually give 2 inner sleeves right there, bam, bam. And again, you can see that the plastic's a little bit different than theirs. I'm not 100% on their manufacturing process, but if you can see here, you see right there, those little specks, all that specks right there. Ours doesn't have those specks. It's much clearer. You see, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm looking at, but what I'm looking at is the specks right here. And you can see just a whole bunch of little specks. And even here, this part of the plastic, you see how it kind of warps in? Can you guys see that? There it is. That shows a little better. And then this is ours. You're not gonna have any of that. And it's a little bit cleaner right here. We do use a frosted, but you can see. This is our inner sleeve for 35 to 55 point. And they do come with the inner sleeves too. And each box of 25 comes with an additional, we do give an additional 50 inner sleeves, just to make sure that you have plenty of inner sleeves. You could see there how the inner sleeve fits just perfectly, enough so where it's not wrinkling the card, enough to where you can see the card really well. That's what the inner sleeve should do. And these mags are good for 35 to 55 point. So Ultra Pro does not offer a an inner sleeve. Let's open this. Okay. Okay, so immediately I'm very disappointed as a collector because of the scratches. That's unreal. You see all the stuff up here. And that's primarily because, guys, it doesn't have a peel off protection, which it should. And I don't know if you guys see what I'm saying, but there's a lot of like stuff on this. There's even something down here. I don't know if it's the way that it's transported or anything like that. But this plastic is not clean enough for me as a collector. And you can see here those marks. Something that we didn't see with the GTi Mag. And it's a simple part of the manufacturing process. These should have a removable plastic film that keeps this just pretty much clean until the end user gets it. You see those waves coming through? So that's not what we want. It's way too tall. It just doesn't fit in there. So let's take the inner sleeve out and put our card directly in. And there we go. We have our card directly in there. Now, the movement. There's not too much movement. It's not too bad. Some of them get really bad with the movement. So kudos to Ultra Pro for making the card actually fit pretty good in there. The problem I have is the surface. And I see a lot of people, they'll put the penny sleeve right here, like line it up, and then they'll close the mag on it. Okay, and then they'll go about that. One thing about that is you're putting 2 layers of plastic. You see? 2 layers of plastic over the card, fogging up the card more than it needs to be. If you put the card inside of the inner sleeve, like actually inside of it, you're only getting 1 layer of plastic over this card, which leaves it very clear. Why would I want to put 2 layers of plastic over my card? And why would I want to put it over my card on the front and not the back? It just doesn't really make sense to me. It's like putting a card in a top loader with a sleeve over the top, but not the back. So there's Ultra Pros. I had it backwards, but it's a sideways card. Pretty good, not too much shaking in there. Okay, there's Ultra Pro. Let's look at Fanatics. So definitely with Ultra Pros, one suggestion I would make to their manufacturing team is, you see that's after I swiped it down. But I mean that, when you're a user, a collector, and you're getting a mag like with streaks on it, that's not acceptable. So size-wise, guys, exactly the same. More of a blue tint on the Ultra Pro. You can see that blue tint. This is ours. More of a white and more of a blue tint. Okay. Now with the Pro mold, you're gonna get a little bit difference in the width. The width is gonna be a little bit wider right here, just a little bit. And then you also are gonna have this lip that pops out, which I've heard a lot of people wish that they get rid of that, but there is a little lip right here that pops out, right? Okay, just letting you guys really get a good look at these mags. Fanatics, let's see what they got. Okay. Pretty good on the, oh, I see some smearing right there. You can see already right there so what that is. And this happens with magnetic one touches. I want everybody to understand that any one touch in this market, if you have a plastic and it swipes against the front too hard, like wipes up, like actually rubs up against this front, like with some pressure, it's gonna create this. You can see it, right? I wiped it off a little bit. I'll make it again. So what happens is, and I'll show you here. Okay. And let's say I put my thumb here and I press out and I pull it out. Whoa, guess what I just did? I made a big streak in the plastic. This is, have you ever seen this in your mags? There it is. You see that right there? Have you ever seen that with the little bubbles? That's because the plastic streaked against the front of it. You know? And you can get that off, and one of the ways you can get that off is with just a little bit of Plastex, not a lot, but a little bit. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna rub that, and you're gonna save your mags with this stuff. It doesn't have to be Plastex. It's just a windshield, what do you call, headlight cleaner. And you see it just goes away. Okay, so be careful when you're putting your mag bags on. What I recommend, oh, this backside had it too. You can see here, right? And again, just gonna get that a good wipe. Should be pretty good. Okay, what I recommend when using the mag bags, which we do give 1 pack of mag bags with every box of mags that we sell, is I do recommend that you take the mag bag and you press on the sides right here. You see how I'm pressing on the sides? And you push down. That's gonna allow the mag to fit in without any like scraping against the front. You do not put on the mag bag by putting it here and putting your fingers here and swiping down and swiping out. Guess what you just did? You just scraped up the mag. So please don't do that when using these mag bags. It's very important, guys. Very important. I'll show you with this one. I got a lot of dust on it. Okay, so you take your mag and you put it in and get it right about there and just press on the sides, and it's gonna leave a little pocket. You see that pocket? And then you're gonna press in. And by doing that, you're not scraping the front of your mag. You're keeping your mag quite clean by doing that. So let's get back to the Fanatics mag and put our raw card in there with no inner sleeve. Way more movement than the Ultra Pro. Too much movement, in my opinion. It's a rattler. So I call this a rattler. This one rattles too much. I don't know why they would make the same thing worse than Ultra Pro. I'm not quite sure what the game plan is here. They're not using the blue tint. Ultra Pro has more of a blue tint, but the size, I mean, we're pound for pound, the exact same size. The magnet looks to be a little bit thicker. Let's put that on a magnet test. No, it's same stuff. It's all the same magnet. And we're looking here at the bottom. And what I'm looking for this part right here. Okay. They did change their square here at the bottom is different. Okay. Every square at the bottom of a mag is going to be different. You can see ours is different too. What I'm talking about is these corners. This is our corner, this is their corner, this is their corner, and they all got to be different. So when you're making your mold, you can't just copy exactly pound for pound, and that's where things get different. So what's different about the GTi Mag, if you're wondering, is one, we put a piece of plastic on the front to make sure that these things aren't scratched up when you get them. Very important. Two, we have two inner sleeves that we put inside that fit perfectly for the dimensions, whether it be 35 to 55, 75 to 100, or 130. We're now making our 180 PT mag with inner sleeves, 155 to 180, and that's gonna have an inner sleeve as well. So what I'm really confused is why Fanatics would go, so they changed the corner, right? But the rest of the mag is the same, except Ultra Pro does have a better, there's no movement. I still think it should have an inner sleeve, but I don't hear any movement and it's in there pretty good. As where Fanatics, I feel, dropped the ball as far as making a mag that is for the collector. Now it's cheap and you're gonna see these probably get pushed across town in multiple locations, but you see the gap right there is already off, and hence we have ourselves a rattler. We don't want this. This is not what we want for our cards. I'm sorry, this is definitely not something that I want for my cards. So those two, and again, the to be fair, I probably should get a Pro mold with the inner sleeve. They have some different ones. Let me see if I have one. So here's another example of Pro mold. You can see here they have some flap as well. They have different generations and they go about like tweaking their product and making it different. And so this is the inner sleeve that they're using. What I don't know about this inner sleeve, I feel it's a little bit too tight. I mean, it's okay. It's probably a little bit better for Pokemon, to be honest. And then when you're in there, yeah, minimal movement. I mean, it's okay. But one thing I notice about this is, I don't know if you can see it, is this like circle that it creates right there, you know? And there's a little bit too much wrinkling in the sleeve. You see there, the wrinkling in the sleeve? If we go back to ours, we're on 35 point right now, but if you go back to ours, there's no wrinkling in the back or the front. And that's because it's all about the size of the sleeve and how it fits in that inner area. Let me just, get this off, there we go. So you can see here, you still get to see the card, front and back. So these are two comparable products. I say that because these products right here, the Ultra Pro and the Fanatics and the other brands that just decided not to put an inner sleeve in a magnetic one touch, they're comparable in their own right too. So these are comparable in their own right, as where ours are comparable in our own right. We're on a different kind of product, to be honest, because we're making sure that we put an inner sleeve in our product. So it's up to you to decide what you're going to encase your cards in, whether it be, you know, cases without inner sleeves, whether it be a Pro mold or whether it be a GTi case, or some people, they like to grade their cards and they don't even go for magnetic cases. Everybody's different. But when it does come to magnetic one-touch cases, I mean, we're growing, we're researching, and we're getting different sizes, different colors, and making sure that the quality of this product doesn't lose its integrity as we move along this process of growth. Magnetic one touches should never have any rattling in them. They shouldn't have any wrinkles, and it should be priced to a way that makes sense. So if you are looking for some great magnetic one touches, you can check us out at GameTimeInternational.com. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye-bye.